I do. What I do, what I do, what I do, what I do. What I do, what I do, what I do, what I do. Hold up. Let me make sure we good. Let me make sure we good out here. We getting it together slowly but surely. I say we getting it together slowly but surely, goddamn. You heard. You heard. We getting it together slowly but surely. Whew, shit. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Bear with me, goddamn. Bear with me. Bear with me, goddamn. Bear with me. I say bear with me. All right, we doing this thing without no goddamn camera today, man. What they do, man? What they do? It's your boy King David in the motherfucking building, man. What's going on with y'all, man? Salute to the people out there in the highways and the byways, man. What they do? You on the realest motherfucking boxing channel there is, box or die. I say you want the realest motherfucking boxing channel there is, box or die. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Let the peoples in the highways and the byways know we talk their shit, man. But we finna get it in, man. We finna get it in. It's been a little minute since your boy been on the line, man. Been about a good week. Been a good week since your boy been on here, you know what I mean? You dig what I'm saying? But we gonna get it in. We gonna get it in, man. We doing no video today. We ain't got the light fixtures to par and all that. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna keep it going. You heard? We gonna keep it going. You heard, man. So we talking about Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. That fight's going down tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it's gonna be a pretty good goddamn fight. You know what I'm saying? A lot to talk about, man. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy week. You know what I'm saying? We almost lost the fight. Now we got the fight back. We got Billy Joe looking in tip-top physical condition. We got Canelo looking in good condition. We got Canelo showing all kind of emotions that we never thought. I don't think I've ever seen Canelo have any kind of emotions towards any fight. But for the first time in a long goddamn time, I saw Canelo look like he was a little bit angry at Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? Canelo looked like he wanted to put hands on Billy Joe Saunders. I don't think I ever seen Canelo look like he want to put hands on a motherfucker, like he wanted to put hands on Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little excited to see this fight, man. I'm a little excited for this fight, man. I mean, my hopes ain't super duper high, you know. It's not super duper high as far as the expectations for how the fight is gonna go down, but just based on the energy surrounding the fight, man, you know what I mean? Just based on the energy Canelo's giving off, just based on the energy that Billy Joe Saunders is getting off. Billy Joe Saunders look like he's coming to win. Billy Joe Saunders look like he's coming to win, man. You know what I'm saying? Billy Joe Saunders is over here talking about his people. He's talking about the gypsy people, man. He's bringing up gypsy people. You know, he's really putting a lot on the line here with this fight, man. He got his belt up on the line. He got his O up on the line. He done brought up his people. And even if people want to say, you know, maybe he might be paid to take a dive or some shit like that. Even if you want to make that type of argument, it's like, you know, no matter what type, you know, you can't deny that Billy Joe Saunders just in general has a lot right now to lose right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he gonna come up in this fight. Yeah, he gonna come up in this fight. Which really that's in debate because there was some news that came out that said Billy Joe Saunders was only gonna make $3 million. Now I don't know how real that is. I don't know whether or not that's the real deal. Is he's actually gonna make $3 million? Because that would be crazy as fuck for him to be fighting Canelo and to only be getting paid $3 million for the shit. You know, but I mean, nevertheless, the news is the news. It says that he's gonna be making $3 million. So I feel like he's coming to win, man. I feel like he is. Dalton Vall says Billy Hoya Saunders will be running for his life, Canelo by unanimous decision. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Ultimately, I feel like Canelo's gonna win this fight. He's gonna dog Billy Joe out. But I'm starting to think this fight is gonna be a little more competitive than a lot of people think, than even I originally thought. You know, Billy Joe Saunders does have a style that would be able to give Canelo issues. He does have the kind of style that could give somebody like Canelo issues. You know, he does. He has that kind of style. Now, I don't feel like his skill set is high enough to be able to win. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he's at that level where he could actually win a fight versus Canelo, but I feel like he's going to give Canelo a very tough fight. You know what I'm saying? We're going to break that fight all the way down. But first things first, we need to talk about what happened at the beginning of the week, because I've been gone all week. So we got to talk about what happened all week. And literally, this fight was about to be off because Billy Joe Saunders had some ring issues. So I know a lot of people were saying that, Billy was a bitch and all this. And, a lot of people didn't like Billy Joe Saunders for the ring thing, the fact that he was going to pull out of the fight, because of the whole ring issue. But the fact of the matter is, I actually get where he was coming from with that. You know, if this was an 18-inch ring, Billy Joe Saunders would literally have no way to win this fight. He would have absolutely if this wasn't a at least 20 feet ring, and I think he won a 24. If this wasn't a 24, if this was an 18-foot ring, like what Canelo actually wanted, if this was that, there's no way in hell Billy Joe would win. I mean, already the odds are stacked against him. You know what I mean? But if this was 18 foot like Canelo wanted, it would have been a complete massacre. It's probably still going to be a complete massacre, but in this way, at least he has a fighting chance. At least he has a snowball's chance in hell as far as pulling out the victory. You know? And I'm not saying that to hate. I'm not saying that because I feel like Billy Joe doesn't have the ability to beat Canelo, because he does. But let's be honest, Billy Joe's not knocking Canelo out. He's not knocking him out. Billy Joe's not a guy that's known for power. So Billy Joe's going to have to outbox Canelo for 12 rounds. He's going to have to outbox him for 12 rounds. And he's going to have to get a decision. Is he going to get a decision versus a Canelo Alvarez in Texas? I mean, is he going to get a decision versus a Canelo Alvarez in Texas? I really don't think so. I mean, the odds are stacked in his favor. So for him, if I'm Billy Joe Saunders and I'm told that I'm getting an 18-foot ring, I'm dropping out of the fight. So I see where Billy Joe is coming from with that shit all day, every day. Nevertheless, the issue was resolved and they're moving forward, and he's getting the 21-foot ring, which is cool. Fine. You're getting your 21-foot ring. We ain't mad at it. Get your 21-foot ring. Gives him a fighting chance, the fight is back on. That's really all that matters. And this is a really important fight, man. This is this is an important fight. This is for 3 belts: WBO, WBA, WBC. Only belt left out of this is Caleb Plant's IBF belt. So this is an important fight. This is an important fight. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I actually I really want to see how this fight plays out, man. Let's look at some of this. Let's check out these goddamn let's check out these clashes that they had, man. Canelo, hold on, versus Billy Joe Saunders. Look at some of these weigh-ins, man. I'm not gonna hold you. Some of these shits look pretty goddamn slick, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. Oh shit, they done added some shit. Look at some of this shit, man.
The gypsies. You're gonna see. We are gonna see. We are gonna see. The gypsies. The gypsy. Yeah. The gypsies. Yeah. Yeah. The gypsies. Mexican is right. They're Mexican. We know. You allowed to beat. Yeah. You love the beat. The Mexican. You love the gypsies. Yeah. Beat. You love that beat, yeah? You love other things. You love the beat. Right. Yeah.
Well, how two drug cheats gonna joke about drug cheating? What type of shit is that exactly? And look at that. Canelo got a little smile on his face, man. I ain't never seen no shit like this before. You know what I'm saying? I never seen this shit. I think I see why he don't smile. I see why now. You know what I'm saying? But I never seen no shit like this before. This is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? This gives me a little bit of excitement about the fight, man. It really does. Gives me a little bit of excitement, you know? Just a little bit.
You love the beat, yeah? You love the beat. You love it. Good.
Ultimately, what I get from that little exchange is Billy Joe Saunders isn't gonna lay down. You know what I'm saying? By him even bringing up the beef, I thought that was clever. I thought that was funny, and I think that's definitely something that Canelo's opponents would have, his last 4 or 5 opponents would have never thought to ever take it that far. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is about. You're supposed to take it that goddamn far. You know what I mean? We want that type of smoke and that type of energy in boxing. We don't need none of that soft shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't need or want none of that soft shit, man. Look at some more of this shit, man. They did the face-off not too long ago. Let's look at some of this shit.
Did you know that the average adult has
man, here we go with this bullshit.
Toxic poop in their body at any given moment?
Bro, that's the most fucking ridiculous commercial like to come on YouTube ever, man. Like it's so goddamn off-putting. Like I don't know how many of y'all get them stupid ass ads, but you know.
IFBB Bikini Pro Champion Brina Martinez.
All right.
Tomorrow night live on DAZN. So coming to the stage.
Skip to the face-off.
Big wins by knockout. Only one champion of the world, Saul. Stepping onto the scales first in this champion versus champion unification contest. 12 rounds of boxing for the unified super middleweight championship of the world. WBO champion.
Let's get to the face-off, man.
Canelo.
See what they're talking about.
A little over. Champion versus champion right here on the stage. Undefeated 2-time world champion, Billy Joe Saunders. 4 division, 5-time world champion, Canelo Alvarez. Face to face.
Ah, shit. Billy look like he ready to fight. Billy Joe look like he ready to fight. Okay. That's how I need face-offs to go.
Are you ready? It all goes down tomorrow night. A little over 24 hours to go.
Hey, Canelo look like, man, I'm gonna knock this dude the fuck out. That was his whole attitude. We gotta see that one more time.
2-time world champion, Billy Joe Saunders. 4-division 5-time world champion, Canelo Alvarez. Face to face. Are you ready? It all goes down tomorrow night. A little over 24 hours to go.
Hold on. When you see somebody shake their head like that, that's like you don't even understand what type of ass whooping I'm gonna put on your ass. That's what that head shake tell me. You don't even understand the level of ass whooping you gonna get when I get these hands on you. You know what I mean? That's what that look like. I respect the hell out of that. Look at that. You don't even know. You don't even know. Look at that. Boy, look at that right there, boy.
Let's give it up. Champion versus champion.
Billy ain't looking down. Billy ready to fight, man.
Saunders versus Alvarez for the unified super middleweight champion.
Man, oh man, oh man.
Of the world.
Hold on, pause this shit. Man, it look good, man. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, man. It look good. It look real good. It look real good. Billy Joe Saunders don't look scared of the smoke. Canelo look like he really want to knock this dude out. He look like he really going for the knockout, man. Like for real, for real. I'm kind of excited about the fight, man. I have issue with Billy Joe Saunders too, man. I don't like how Billy Joe Saunders handled Demetrius Andrade fight. If Billy Joe Saunders get knocked out and forgotten about, it's only his fault. You know, these dudes go out of their way to fight Canelo. They go out of their way to jump in the ring with Canelo, and you know they sell out. They give Canelo all the leverage. They give Canelo all the advantages. You know, so they can make a big payday. But according to sources, Billy Joe's only getting $3 million. So you're doing all this to get in the ring with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? For what at the end of the day? Especially if you get knocked the fuck out. Billy Joe Saunders got a lot on the line here, man. He got a lot on the line. Not only first of all, he got a lot on the line, man. He could have fought Andrade, you know what I'm saying? He could have unified with one of those dudes himself, Caleb Plant, or one of those other dudes. Those dudes could have unified that division at 168. They didn't need Canelo. You know, but they decided they wanted to go the Canelo route. So now you're going to fight Canelo. So Canelo turn around and knock your ass out and end your career. You know, you ain't got nobody but to blame but yourself. But let's break this fight down, man. Let's break it down from the rooter to the tutor, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think a lot of people don't see Billy Joe as having a solid chance. So I want to go ahead and break that shit down real quick, man. This fight between Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders, man. And if you know me, you know how I break down fights, man. I break down fights via attributes. So we're gonna break down the goddamn attributes, man. We're gonna break down the attributes. First, let's analyze some of the styles, man. Let's analyze Canelo style. Let's talk a little bit about it. Let's analyze Billy Joe style. Let's start with Canelo. Canelo's more of a guy that likes to counterpunch. He's a guy that loads up on a lot of his shots. He doesn't move his feet too well, but he cuts the ring off. Okay, he's gotten a lot better at that. Ever since he fought Floyd Mayweather, I think that was one of the things that he improved on, cutting the ring off. So he cuts the ring off pretty well. He has a pretty good jab. He keeps his hands kind of low sometimes, but he does that because he likes to draw punches. He likes to draw people into counter punching opportunities and things like that. But yeah, for the most part, you can pretty much label Canelo as a counter puncher, a boxer puncher, counter puncher who just, for the most part likes to, he kind of enjoys slugging it out from time to time. You know what I'm saying? And Billy Joe Saunders, you can pretty much dub him as a more traditional boxer, somebody who can work on their back foot, but can also fight kind of well on the inside. a dude that pretty much is good at a lot of things, man. And that's one thing I noticed about a lot of dudes from the UK. A lot of dudes from the UK, like they're good at a lot of things, but they're not masters in any one category of fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like not masters in any one category. You had Floyd Mayweather, who was a master at every category of fighting. Mayweather could fight very well. He was a master at fighting on the inside. He was a master of fighting on the outside. He was a master at counterpunching. He was a master at controlling distance. He was a master at angles. He was just a master at everything. But you have a lot of the guys from Europe, Billy Joe Saunders being one of them, who they're good at a lot of things, but they're not really masters at anything. So Billy Joe Saunders can fight on the outside. He can fight well enough on the inside. But he's for the most part, he has some rhythm, not much rhythm. And he could be kind of stiff at times. You know what I'm saying? You know, he could be kind of stiff at times and he can be very lax on defense at times. He doesn't really have the reflexes and the skill set to be able to hit and not get hit, you know, which is critical when you're trying to emulate us, when you're trying to fight a slick, when you're trying to be a slick, you know what I'm saying? He has slick ways like Billy Joe Saunders, man. He's actually one of the guys that he doesn't get hit as much as a lot of people would think. But he's definitely not a dude who can avoid punches. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely nowhere near somebody like an Andrade or somebody like a Devin Haney or somebody like a somebody who boxes very well and who's able to hit and not get hit. He's definitely not in that category. Um, Nevertheless, that's for the most part Billy Joe style. So let's go down the attribute list, man. Let's go down the attribute list. All right, so check this out. As far as the power, let's go down the list because I break it down by attributes: power, speed, technical skill, that sort of thing. So let's go down the list. As far as the power is concerned, Canelo definitely has the edge in power. Um, I mean, Canelo's knocked people out all the way up to 175. I think just by default, you have to give Canelo the edge when it comes to power. Also, Billy Joe's not really known for having a whole lot of power, so it just goes to Canelo hands down. Then you got speed. So to me, Billy Joe is probably has the faster feet. He's able to move around the ring a little smoother. He can move on his toes. You know, Billy Joe's a little smoother moving around the ring. And then you have Canelo, who has the faster hands, who could probably throw the better combinations. And then you have on top of that, then you have uh technical skills. I think as far as technical skills is concerned, Canelo has I'm sorry, Billy Joe probably has the better technical skills. Traditionally, he's just a more solid, more well-rounded fighter than Canelo. He's able to do a little bit more. He's a little more fundamental with the way he does things, and for those reasons, I would give him the edge in technical skill. Boxing IQ, I'd also give to Billy Joe Saunders. I think Billy Joe Saunders, because of his adaptability and his ability to do other things, fight on the outside, fight on the inside, move around the ring, work his jab, things like that. I would say that Billy Joe Saunders has the better boxing IQ. Um, I think that Canelo has the better experience. If we're talking about experience, he's just fought the better competition, hands down. I don't think anybody on earth would debate that. And then you're talking about the intangible things, which Billy Joe Saunders is a guy who just, I mean, for the most part, what the worst thing you could say about Billy Joe Saunders is just that he hasn't fought top level competition. His resume is just nowhere near the level of Canelo. He's fought nowhere near that level. And because of that, it's going to be a huge gap or a huge step up in competition that he may or may not be ready for. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who he's been using for sparring. I don't know what he's been doing to prepare for this fight, but I hope he has some good people in there in that camp to help him prepare for Canelo, because thus far in his career, he's fought nobody near the level. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people, um, when you talk about Billy Joe Saunders, he fought David Lemieux, and David Lemieux is definitely nowhere near Canelo. But David Lemieux does have Canelo-like tendencies. Okay, what do I mean when I say that? Both Canelo and David Lemieux like to throw very wide looping punches at times. Both David Lemieux and Canelo are very flat-footed. Both David Lemieux and Canelo um, tend to be one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? They tend to be very one-dimensional at times. You know, making uh, making it very difficult for them when they get in the ring with slick fighters. You know what I'm saying? So again, Billy Joe Saunders has the skills to be able to beat somebody like Canelo, but he has to be at the top of his game. And that's that level, that jump up in level and competition is gonna prove to be it's gonna be real, it's gonna be real rough for Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real rough for that guy because the step up, it may be just too great, you know. I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons he's gonna lose, just that gap in experience, you know, just that gap in experience. And then his last two performances were shit. So if Billy Joe Saunders beat somebody like a Demetrius Andrade, or if he beat somebody even like a Caleb Plant, if Billy Joe Saunders unified with Caleb Plant and beat Caleb Plant, you know what I'm saying, I would give him a better shot at beating Canelo simply because at least Caleb Plant is closer to that level. You know what I'm saying? He's closer to that skill set that Canelo has. You know, definitely not there, not comparing the two at all. But Caleb Plant is at least you can kind of, that be a better step up in competition from the guys that Billy Joe has fought his last two fights. I don't even this what was his last fight? Martin Murray, I think, was one of the fights. That dude was like 48 or something like that. You know, and even Martin Murray at the height of his career had never done much. So you go from fighting Martin Murray to Canelo, that's crazy talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I don't even get why you would want to do that, let alone do it. I don't even get why you would want to do that, let alone do it. Let me drop the link up in here, man. Hey, man, if anybody's new to the channel, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We over here talking that good boxing talk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this link, man. Anybody that want to hop on can hop on. Yeah, man, I'd love to get your take on what's going on. Love to get your predictions on Billy Joe versus Canelo. Hold on, let's drop this motherfucking link. Hold on 1 second, man. We about to... Section link. All right, we got that link out here for you. Anybody want to jump on here, man? You could jump on here, man. But back on point. Back on point. Billy Joe Saunders has the skills to be able to beat Canelo. He has the skills to be able to do it. You know, he just doesn't have the experience. He doesn't have the experience, and all the odds are going to be stacked against Billy Joe Saunders. He's coming to a foreign country, a country he's never fought at before. He's fighting Canelo Alvarez, a dude that's known for getting all the best gift decisions. You know what I'm saying? All the best gift decisions that you could think of. You know, he's you know, he hasn't fought nowhere near anyone anywhere near the level of Canelo Alvarez, and that's from 160 to 168. The best person you could say is probably David Lemieux, but even that is a far gap from a Canelo Alvarez. And then let's look at this ring situation. What we were talking about earlier. This is a 21-foot ring. So you fighting in a 21-foot ring, you wanted a 24-foot ring, you fighting in a 21-foot ring. So you're not going to be able to move around nowhere near as much as you would like. Billy, I believe the agreement was for a 24-foot ring, so he probably was training this entire time in a 24-foot ring. He probably was doing all his training in a 24-foot ring. You know what I'm saying? So now you go from a 24-foot ring to now a 21-foot ring. Now that's what you're training in. That makes a difference come fight night. That makes a hell of a difference come fight night. If you're Billy Joe Saunders, you know, I mean, you got to have a lot of confidence, man. You got to. You got to have a lot of confidence because this is not promising, man. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, I stand by what I say. Billy Joe Saunders has a legitimate chance to win. He can still win despite that. Having the better boxing IQ, I give him the better boxing IQ. Being the better technical fighter, I give him the better technical fighter. Having the better foot speed, I give him the better foot speed. You know what I'm saying? I would say this. This is a legitimate thing that I would say about this fight, man. I would say that Billy Joe Saunders has a probably 40% chance to win this fight. He has probably a 40% chance to win this fight if it was under the right circumstances. If it was under the right circumstances, I would give him a 40% chance to win this fight because he could beat Canelo. The only real disadvantage Billy Joe Saunders has is the lack of experience. But other than that, he has the skill set to be able to beat Canelo. He can give Canelo the angles that Mayweather gave him. Okay, he can put that jab in Canelo's face. That Mayweather put that jab in Canelo's face. Okay. He can get in and get out. He can get in and get out of distance. He can do those things. He can give angles. Billy Joe Saunders has proven that he can do these things, and not only do them, but do them at a pretty high level. Not only can he do them, but he could do them at a pretty high level. You know? But is it at a world-class Canelo level? Can he do it? If he can do it, he hasn't proven it yet, and that's the problem with this. That's the problem with this fight. No, there's no proof. There's no evidence to show for it. This is a bad situation if you're Billy Joe Saunders. You know? Yeah, man. This is how I see the fight going, man. This is how I see the fight going. I feel like early on, this is how I feel like early on, Billy Joe Saunders is going to be very aggressive. I feel like he's going to be very aggressive early on. I know a lot of people feel like he's going to do the opposite. A lot of people feel like he's probably going to start off trying to box, but I think he's going to do the opposite. You know, I think he's watched that Mayweather fight probably more times than, you know, Mayweather himself. He's watched that Mayweather fight a lot, and I think there's one thing that he understands is that the last thing that you want to do is what he expects you to do. And I think he's going to come in hard, fast, and strong and try to win the first 3 rounds very quickly. I feel like after the first 3 rounds, Billy Joe Saunders is probably going to start trying to box off his back foot. I feel like he's going to try to box off his back foot. And I feel like at that point, that's when he's going to get into a little bit of trouble. Because Canelo's going to start walking him down, and Canelo's going to start hitting him with some of those hard, loaded up shots that he likes to throw. you know, and it's going to turn into a real bad night for Billy. Canelo's going to start going to the body. Canelo's going to start throwing 3 and 4 punch combinations as the fight drags on. And it's going to be up to Billy to try to mix it up and try to box. But the thing is, like I said, Billy has the skills to be able to do it, but he hasn't proven that he can do that at the highest level. You know? So, you know, ultimately, man, I feel like Canelo is probably going to end up stopping Billy Joe late. I feel like he's going to end up stopping Billy Joe late. I feel like there's too many things stacked against Billy Joe for him to be able to win this fight. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, goddamn. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I feel like Billy Joe got too many things stacked against him. You got a small ass ring. You know? The level of competition. Juan says, who won? What you asking, Juan? Who won? I'm just giving my final thought. The fight is tomorrow, Juan. I'm giving my final thoughts on it. Giving my final thoughts on Canelo versus Billy Joe. You know what I'm saying? Fight's going down tomorrow. I'm saying I think Canelo is going to win. I think Canelo is going to get a late stoppage. I think Billy Joe has too many things stacked against him in order to be able to come out victorious in this fight. You know what I'm saying? With the small ring, the fact that he has never fought competition to the level of Canelo, you know, the fact that he's been on a pretty long layoff, Canelo's been active. That's another thing, man. We didn't even talk about this shit, bro. Like, Billy Joe Saunders, when was Billy Joe Saunders' last fight, man? Hold on, let's go to BoxRec. Do some research over here, man. We're out here on these streets. Let's do some research. Let's get out here. Boxer. Fuck going on? Oh. Let's get out here. What was Billy Joe Saunders' last fight? Oh, it's crazy. I pull up Canelo. Okay, Billy Joe Saunders' last fight was December of 2020. But that was against Martin Murray. Martin Murray was his last fight. I got that shit right. Martin Murray. And then before that, it was Marcelo Esteban Conrada. I can't say his name. He was undefeated fighter, but, you know, that was for the belt. So he got the belt, and that was it. He got the belt, and then he fought Martin Murray with 5 losses. "46 bouts." Let's say the person how old Martin Murray is. Martin Murray, you're old as shit, bro. Hold on a second. Martin Murray started boxing in 2007. That's when I graduated high school. Martin Murray. Okay, so he fought in December, so his layoff wasn't that long. You know what I'm saying? His layoff wasn't that long. But again, the level of competition. Look at this. Martin Murray, you can't put him nowhere near a Canelo. This dude, Marcelo, you can't put him nowhere near a Canelo. He was undefeated, though, 28-0, but that don't really mean shit today. Let's look at who this dude fought. Marcelo Esteban Con. All right, I'm okay. Sebastian Horciano. Don't know who that is. He fought that dude twice. German Ignacio. Don't know who that is. Christian. Okay. All right. So look at this. A dude with 24 and 14 losses. Hold on, bro. That's who you fought? That's who you fighting? You fighting dudes with 14 losses, dudes with 6 losses. So this dude, look, all the fighters that he fought, they straight out of what's his flag? I believe that's Argentina. That's the Argentinian flag. So you ain't even fighting globally. You fighting all locally. You fighting in local Golden Gloves and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gonna go from this to fighting Billy Joe Saunders and Billy Joe? This is who Billy Joe Saunders beat? Marcellus, and then he beats Martin Murray, and then he goes straight from that to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Gotta have those facts, bro. What you saying, Juan? You said who won? What bro? I don't know what you're saying, Juan. You gonna have to elaborate, bro. I don't know what you're saying. A year ago, gotta have those facts, bro. Marcellus. That was, oh shit. Did I say it was 20? Okay, yeah, that was a year prior. So he fought in 2019, he fought Marcelo, and then in 2020 he fought Martin Murray. So, you know, he's fighting once a year, which is pretty much the fucking trend these days. All these fighters are fighting once a year, man. You know what I mean? He fought Marcelo and he fought Martin Murray. It's not a year. I mean, it's like more like 6 months ago. We in May. You know what I mean? So on December 4th. But again, you going from this fight to Canelo Alvarez, Martin Murray to Canelo Alvarez, man, that's a huge step in competition. Then you look at Canelo. I guess you could say it's the same thing in a sense because Canelo's last fight was Avni Udirim. I mean, you know, that ain't nobody. But you definitely got to put Callum Smith heads and shoulders above. I don't know who that dude was, Marcelo, for the WBO belt. You got to put Callum Smith above him. You know, you got to put Sergey Kovalev above him. We're gonna see, man. This gonna be a good fight, man. I think that Billy's gonna get stopped late. I think he will. It would actually be nice if Billy Joe Saunders won, man. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I wouldn't be mad if Billy Joe won this fight, man. And you know, it would really shake up boxing. You know, it would really shake up boxing, make it very interesting. You know, if Billy Joe was to somehow get the dub here, man, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. I wouldn't be mad at it in the least. You know what I'm saying? I got a guy in here, man. Yeah, man, I can't read what you writing, my guy. I can't read what you writing. But shout out to you, my guy. Anybody new up in the building, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. We always out here talking boxing, man. We always out here talking boxing. We talking Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez going down tomorrow. Going down tomorrow. I dropped the link for you guys, man. I'd love to get you guys thoughts on this fight. Who you guys think is gonna win? I think it's gonna be a late stoppage for Canelo. I think Canelo is gonna stop Billy Joe. Although I give Billy Joe a shot to win, I think Billy Joe has the skills to be able to beat Canelo Alvarez. I think Billy Joe can give him the angles, and Billy Joe can give him the movement and do the things that Canelo doesn't like in order to win the fight. I just don't see him winning the fight simply because he doesn't his skill set in doing those things isn't high enough, and then the odds are stacked in his favor, man. I think it was Goodfella Sports TV. Shout out to Goodfella Sports TV. I think he said, man, Billy Joe's selling his belt. He kind of is a little bit, man. He kind of is a little bit. I don't get why you would jump in a fight with somebody, give up. I mean, I get why. I mean, obviously money, you know what I'm saying? But you know, these dudes get in the ring with dudes like Canelo, and they give up all their leverage, man. They give up all their leverage. But at the end of the day, man, it's like you a champion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a champion. Like, if Canelo wants to be unified, if Canelo wants to be undisputed, he got to go through you. Why are you giving up your leverage and accepting whatever this dude is willing to give you in order to make the fight happen. Like that, it's not the burden of making the fight happen isn't just on you. It should be on Canelo too. Canelo made in the fight's happening. So we don't have to have this conversation, but it's like at the same time, you know, you can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo's name goes first. You know what I mean? Like you got to fight in a 21-foot ring. You know what I mean? You're fighting in Texas. I mean, it probably makes sense for all that to happen anyway, because just for money reasons, you probably gonna make more money here in the States than you would over in the UK. Billy Joe's a big name in the UK, but it's certainly nowhere near as big a name as it is in is Canelo is over here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And in Mexico, which is right by the United States. I don't think in the UK they're gonna be selling out 70,000 seats like they're doing here in the US. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that if this fight was in the UK, they would be selling 70,000 like they doing here. So, you know, it makes all the sense in the world for that to be happening. But you got Canelo that's just getting a way bigger purse. You know what I'm saying? You got Canelo, you know, with the judges, picking the judges. You got man, Canelo. I mean, all the advantages, man. Man, and I get the whole A side, B side thing, man. I get the whole thing. Canelo's a star. Yes, you could immediately rise to superstardom by fighting somebody like that, man. But it's a huge, huge gamble, man. A huge, huge gamble. And I don't know that it's necessarily worth it. I don't know that it's necessarily worth it. Boxing with Sean is in the building. Boxing with Sean, what's going on, man? Another great weekend of boxing. Yeah, man, it's gonna be some good fights on it this weekend, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be some real good fights, man. And I'm actually excited for this Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez fight, man. I think that it's gonna be a good fight. I don't think Billy Joe's gonna come in there and lay down. I think Canelo's still gonna win. I think Canelo's gonna stop Billy Joe late. I think that's gonna happen, but I don't think this is gonna be an easy fight for Canelo. And I think Billy Joe is probably gonna give Canelo one of his toughest fights of his career. I think Billy Joe is gonna give Canelo one of the toughest fights of his career. Certainly not as tough as Lara, Mayweather, or Trout, but definitely in that tier. Definitely maybe like a tier below that. You know what I'm saying? I'll say like a tier below Mayweather and Lara. He's going to give Canelo that kind of trouble because Billy Joe is going to give Canelo the angles. Billy Joe is going to use the jab. Billy Joe is going to move around a little bit. Billy Joe is going to do things that Canelo, as we know as fans, doesn't like, you know? Boxing with Sean says Billy Joe is no punk. Yes, I agree with that 100%, man. Billy Joe is no punk. He's no punk. I mean, even his body language. When we just watched the weigh-in earlier, his body language was like, "Look, man, I'm ready to die in the ring." You know, like I'm here to bring it. I'm here to take the gold. And then also, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if this is true, but they say Billy Joe Saunders is only getting $7 million. Billy Joe's only going to get $7 million for this fight. I mean, not 7 million. I'm sorry, $3 million. I don't know if that's true or not. But Billy Joe Saunders is only going to get $3 million. So if I'm Billy Joe Saunders, the only way I'm taking $3 million for a Canelo Alvarez fight is if I'm 100% confident I could win the fight. I feel like almost everybody Canelo's fought at this point has gotten probably at least $10 million. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like I feel like that's why guys chase people like Canelo, because it ensures the big paydays. Yeah, they want the superstardom. Yeah, they want, the accolades that come along with beating Canelo. But why else would you give up all the leverage to somebody like Canelo in order to make the fight happen? You know, why else would you do something like that? I don't see why you would. I really don't. Let's look at some of these reactions um to this fight. I guess some predictions. Some of these dudes predicting the fight.
Axe body wash. Keeps you clean and smelling refreshed for 12 hours.
This is 6-time IFBB bikini.
I think he'll wear him down. Yeah. Tons of experience, but he's had a road, man. He's been up and down. He's been active and inactive. We saw what Canelo just did in his previous fight, and we know what Canelo's done in every fight. So I'm it's easy to say this is Canelo's fight as long as it lasts.
As long as it lasts.
As long as it lasts.
So you think he'll wear him down?
Yeah, I think he'll wear him down. Yeah.
What is an indication?
One thing that I see though is that, you know, a lot of fighters, man, they kind of like kiss Canelo's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know if it's a respect thing, or I feel like maybe like it might be like a, you know, like a when a fighter has like a certain amount of power, you know what I'm saying, in a sport, you know, I feel like other fighters feel threatened and almost obligated to say like positive things about him. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, if you sincerely mean these things, then cool. That it is what it is. But I feel like I listen to some of these fighters and some of the commentary they give about Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It seems forced and contrived to me a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on. On ahead, Sean.
Here there for you to think that, because Saunders is a guy that raises to the competition.
The indicator is Canelo. Canelo has every element that's required to be the greatest, and that's why he is in the position that he's in, getting paid what he's getting paid and doing what he's doing, because he is the greatest of our era. And when you're the greatest, the way that he does it.
See, and that's the shit I'm talking about, bro. Like, what do you mean the greatest of our era? What the fuck are you talking about? So you got Mayweather and Pacquiao in this era, okay? I guess you can say that they're in the last. I guess you could kind of say that, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao's last fight was last year. You know what I mean? Like Mayweather, I think his last pro fight, I don't want to say 2 years ago or something like that, 3 years ago. I may be wrong about that. I mean, but it's relatively recent in my mind. You know, his last fight with Andre Berto. And then when you say the greatest fight, even if you exclude those two, even if you exclude those two, who has Canelo beaten to be considered the greatest fighter of our era? See, this is what I'm talking about. That kissing that a lot of these fighters do. The greatest fighter of our era? Really? Seriously? Come on, man. Come on with all that, Sean. Really?
It's only a matter of time.
Canelo's been growing. Canelo's been growing a lot. You know, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that would have been a tough fight before he fought G. But Canelo's the king of boxing right now. So I think he'll
Come on, bro. King of boxing. What the fuck, bro? Like, and this is what I mean. Like, first of all, you're supposed to be just predicting the fight. So why not just break the fight down like a normal motherfucker? What is all this king of boxing shit, bro? Like, no. No. You're not the king of boxing. After beating Abner, you're Durham. You're not the king. No. This fight with Billy Joe Saunders is a meaningful fight. It's a meaningful fight. But to call him the king of, come on, man. Come on.
The way he beat Kalen Smith, I thought that was going to be the hardest fight for him. But now he did that with ease. You saw how he left his arms, you know.
You were the only person that thought that was going to be the hardest fight for him. You got to be the. Yeah, I don't know who else would have thought that would have been the hardest fight for him. I don't get how anyone would think that, but okay.
Imagine that landing on your face. And I think he's gonna stop Saunders.
No problem. Wow.
I agree with that. He is going to stop Saunders. It's going to be a bit of a problem, though. Saunders is going to give him some issues, for sure, for sure. You know, a lot of people aren't giving Billy Joe Saunders enough credit, not by any means. You know, and that people are really sleeping on this fight. This isn't going to be an easy fight for Canelo. He's going to win the fight, but it's not going to be easy. He's going to look bad in this fight. I'm saying it here. You heard it here first. He's going to look bad in this fight. He may stop Billy Joe, but he's going to get hit a lot. Okay, Billy Joe is going to move around the ring and make Canelo look silly. He's going to make him look silly more than a few times. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if Billy won the fight. I really wouldn't be. But okay, let's move on, bro.
You don't think Saunders has any chance
Saunders is good.
He's tricky though. Like
He's
see, like
good southpaw, good
Lara,
southpaw. He's good. He's very strong. When he fought Lemieux, he looked really sharp. Really good with his footwork, but like Canelo, his confidence is out of this earth. You know, he's like I said, he's the king of boxing, so no one's gonna stop him right now. I don't think not one person's gonna stop him.
So no one beats him right now. Do you think
no one beats him? He's pound for pound number.
Come on, bro. Really? No one beats him. All right, bro. And then he goes into the pound for pound number one talk. Come on, bro. Pound for pound number one is subjective, but come on, man.
Caleb Plant, none of those guys.
Not right now. I mean, Benavidez would be a good fight. Yeah, it'll be a good fight. But right now, he needs to get his title back. So we'll see with that. But
and let me ask you this question, right? He says that he needs to get his title back, but like, and this is what I don't get about a lot of like fighters, like a lot of fans of boxing. You know, like a fighter doesn't need to have a belt in order for a fight to happen. If it's a good fight, if a lot of fans feel like the fight need to be made, if a lot of fans feel like you should take this fight, then you should just take the fight. The belt be damned, because the belt a lot of times, I mean, the belt a lot of times it ain't nothing but some bullshit. Anyway, look, we got this whole franchise belt, and that's nothing but a tub of bullshit. Really, when you really add it all the way up. The ranking systems are fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, why why does a fighter need a belt in order for you to fight them? You know, like a lot of people know the Benavidez fight is going to be a good fight for Canelo. Canelo knows that a lot of people are saying that. Why don't you just fight David Benavidez? Get it out of the way. People saying, and that's that's one thing about this new school that's a lot different than the old. Because in old school, people, when people would say, tell other fighters, or people would tell Ali, hey, somebody, this dude could whoop you. He'd be, oh yeah, we'll bring him on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fight them. Like the energy was always like, oh, you think this guy can beat me? Well, I'm gonna fight him. Let's see. Let's bring him in. You know what I mean? Bring him in the ring. Let's see what he can do. You know what I mean? Like, not this, oh, he got to do this. He got to get this shit, Moving along.
I think that'll be but like Canelo's looking for the belts right now, so he's not. I don't think that fight's gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah, let's do the Joel Diaz.
Of course, Saunders is a fast, smart fighter. He is gonna give Canelo problems in the early rounds, but once Canelo starts breaking him down and starts figuring him out, Canelo's gonna start slowing him down. He has great footwork, and I think that the body work. The body attack from Canelo is going to slow down Saunders, and then that's where Canelo is going to do damage.
Do you think he ends up stopping him then?
I don't think he's going to go the distance.
No. Wow.
Okay, Joel Diaz with the on-point assessment. Hold on a second. Let me see if anybody motherfucking building. Boxing with Sean says, who else would Billy fight and get $3 million? Boxing with Sean also says, who would you put over Canelo in this decade? Boxing with Sean, okay. Who else could Billy fight and get $3 million? I feel like he could have got more money fighting Demetrius Andrade. I feel like Billy Joe Saunders could have fought Demetrius Andrade and got more money than $3 million. Andre seemed Eddie Hearn, they offered Charlo $7 million. I can't imagine they offered Billy Joe Saunders much less than $7 million. If they offered Charlo $7 million, I can't imagine that they would have offered Billy Joe that much less. I can't imagine that would have happened. Who would I put over Canelo in this decade? I feel like there are a lot of things that disqualify Canelo from being pound for pound number one and being the king of boxing. There's a lot of things that disqualify him from that, And because of that, you just can't make a statement openly like that. You just can't. You know what I mean? When you got to do, and I'm not trying to discredit Canelo in no type of way. I'm not trying to talk no shit about Canelo. I think Canelo is I think Canelo is a good fighter. I think Canelo has the potential to be pound for pound number one in boxing's king in the face of boxing. He has the star power to be able to do it, but as far as what he's done in the sport, he just hasn't done what needs to be done. There are fighters out there who's been calling his names for years that he hasn't responded to. I don't know any pound for pound fighter in history that that has done that. You can't tell me one fighter that's been calling Floyd Mayweather's name for years and years and years at a time and he didn't fight him. You can't tell me a fighter that's been calling Roy Jones's name for years and years and years. Roy Jones fought Antonio Tarver eventually. Antonio Tarver, he fought him and then fought him again. He lost the fight, but I mean, he fought him, you know? Boxing with Sean said, oh, Jordan Sue says, who won? Jordan, I'm not this is just my final thoughts on the fight. The fight is actually taking place tomorrow. You know, it hasn't happened yet. Tomorrow after the fight, I'm probably gonna do a post-fight review and everything. But as of right now, the fight hasn't happened. Boxing with Sean says old school guys actually had to beat top guys to raise up the rankings. Absolutely, because the rankings are fake as hell, man. You know, nowadays, I, I mean, you can't prove it, but these dudes pay their way to get to the top of the rankings. The champion wasn't the only guy who fought the top guys. Absolutely. Yeah. How long did it take Ali to get Frazier to the Frazier to get the Frazier 2 fight? I agree with you. The facts guy says, who are you rooting for? I'm actually rooting for Billy Joe Saunders. I want Billy Joe Saunders to win this fight. I feel like it'd be better for boxing if Billy Joe Saunders won this fight. If Billy Joe Saunders won this fight, I feel like it'd be better for boxing. You know, I feel like it would be. You know, you know what? You know what? I kind of take that back. I take that back. I retract that statement. I retract that statement. It wouldn't be better for boxing, but it would be nice to see Billy Joe win that fight. It would be nice. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would be nice to see him win that fight. The facts guy. Who are you rooting for, facts guy? Who are you guys rooting for? Boxing with Sean. Who you got? Who you got winning this fight? With Canelo, and who you rooting for? Boxing with Sean says both those were the zone fights. You think they offered him more for Andre? Both those were the zone fights. You think they offered him more for Andre? I don't think they offered more, but I feel like even if it was the same price or even a little bit, I feel like it would have probably been a little bit more. I feel like then $3 million, $3 million is not much. Like, yeah, I don't know if he's getting the percentage of pay-per-view. I don't know how that works on the back end, but you know. James says, what makes it better? What makes what better, James? The facts guy says, I want Billy to win. Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. I want Billy to win too. I think it'd be good if Billy. I think it would just make things interesting. Not necessarily better for boxing, because if you're gonna say that it would be better for boxing if Billy Joe won, then that would mean that you would think Billy Joe is gonna fight the guys he needs to fight. And I just don't think that. I just don't think that Billy Joe, if he beat Canelo, he would fight people like that he's supposed to fight. I don't think that Billy Joe, after a Canelo win, would jump in the ring with Charlo or Andrade or even the Benavidez or even a Plan. I don't think he would go after any of those guys next. I feel like he would fight more guys like Martin Murray. I feel like that would be his path afterwards. And I'm not necessarily cool with the idea of that, you know? Boxing with Sean says, I give Billy Joe a chance, but favor Canelo. Yeah. A lot of people aren't giving him a chance, and I don't get that. You can't be a real boxing guy if you don't give Billy Joe a chance of winning the fight. You know, Billy Joe has the skill set to be able to win this fight. You know, Billy Joe can win this fight just based on his skill set. You know, just based on what he brings to the table, he can win. You know, James says Billy Joe winning, but you took it back. I want him to win. You know, don't get it mistaken, James. I want Billy Joe to win. I just don't think he's gonna win. I just don't think he's gonna win. I think, and I said it earlier in the live, man. I think Billy Joe, I think he just has too much stacked against him in this fight, man. Coming over to a new country, he's fighting in a small ring. This ring is like 20 feet. I think he wanted like 24 feet ring. You know what I'm saying? The level of competition. Billy Joe's last opponent was Martin Murray, a guy within his 40s. You know, and then the fight before that was this guy named Marcelo, some guy who fought a guy who had 16 losses. Like the level of competition is just not there. The best competition Billy Joe has fought is David Lemieux, and that was years ago. And David Lemieux is nowhere near the level of a Canelo Alvarez, nowhere near the level, you know. So the step up in competition, I feel like it's gonna be if Billy Joe Saunders had fought, if he had fought like Caleb Plant, or he had fought somebody, just somebody like near that level, I would give him a better chance to win. 22 feet. I thought it was like 21 and a half, 22 feet. He won at 24 feet though, the facts guy. He won at 24 feet, but he only got 22, you know. And it's like, you know, and that was very intentional on Canelo. I feel like they agreed to 24 feet, and I feel like Canelo is playing tactical games with that shit because he knows that Billy Joe is gonna be wanting to move, gonna be wanting to use the ring, so he's trying to take the ring away from him. And if he would have, man, if he would have got that 18, I don't, man. But back to what I was saying, I feel like Billy Joe he has too many things stacked against him, you know, in order to be able to win this fight, man. You fight in another country, you stepping up in competition, you fighting in a smaller ring, you know what I mean? You now Billy Joe's in really good shape, man. He's in really good shape though. Dude looks shredded. He looks like I don't think I've ever seen Billy Joe this focused in this, you know, this level of dedication. I don't think I've ever seen it before. James says Canelo said he will give him a whole Dallas field and he'll still KO him. Oh wow, Canelo said that. So why didn't he give it to him? If that's how he felt, it's funny, guys. Like it's funny Canelo would say that, but then at the same time, he's like, "Well, I'll give him 22 feet." You didn't capitulate to the 24 feet, but you want to talk shit that he could have the whole field, but you didn't give him the 24 though. It had to be 22. So you still had to take something away, even though this dude was probably training in 24 feet the whole time. So now he's training in 24 feet. Now he has to make the adjustments to now training in 22 feet. And believe it or not, people, but that makes a difference. If you've been training in 24 and then you switch to 22 suddenly, there's gonna be a bit of of repercussion there. You know what I'm saying? The facts guy says when Billy fought Cross Seas, he looked good. Yeah. Well, how long ago? Let's go back to this box, Rick. Hold on a second. Billy Joe Saunders. When did he fight Cross Seas? Let's go back here. Okay, he fought Marcelo in Los Angeles. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Not Marcelo. Not Marcelo. He fought David Lemieux in Canada, though. Okay, he did look good in Canada. Yeah, he looked good there. You're right. I'll give you that one. The facts guy. He fought Marcelo in Canada. Yeah, I mean, he fought David Lemieux in Canada. That was probably his best performance. You know, and I was talking about this earlier. I've said the David Lemieux fight. Canelo has David Lemieux tendencies. Okay, and before you get mad and break your computer, understand this. When I say David Lemieux tendencies, I'm talking about the wide looping punches. Okay, that Billy Joe Saunders was able to get in and out of the way of. I'm talking about the flat-footedness that Billy Joe Saunders was able to maneuver around and completely take advantage of. That's what I'm speaking of. So Billy Joe has a very legitimate chance to win this fight. I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think that it's going to happen. You know? But would be very happy if it did. Not very happy, but it would just be interesting. Very, very interesting. Boxing with Sean says Canelo is the A side, of course. He would make a smaller ring like Floyd. He would make the smaller ring like Floyd and others before. I mean, of course, they're gonna enforce that A side shit. You know what I mean? Like, of course. Like, you know, of course he is. But don't enforce that shit and then talk shit afterwards and say, oh, he can have the whole football field. But you didn't want to give him the 24 feet, though. You know? You didn't want to give him the 24 feet. But you're talking shit about how he can have the whole Dallas stadium as far as the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Just one of those things. Boxing with Sean says Texas rings are usually 20 feet. I mean, 20 feet is it usually 20 feet? I don't know if it's usually 20 feet. You may be right about that. I don't have the details on that. You may be right about that. Even so, if Billy Joe wanted 24 feet, if he feel like 24 feet is what he wants, and you're Canelo Alvarez and you're confident you can win, you can give him the 24 feet. Knock his ass out. Like he said, the whole Dallas stadium. There should be no issues. James says, you're right, bro. It won't happen. I wish I was wrong, bro. Like, honestly, man, if tomorrow night, if Billy Joe Saunders stopped Canelo Alvarez tomorrow, I would have no issues coming on here and apologizing to everybody who's, you know, for my prediction. I would have no issues coming on here telling all of you guys that I apologize for my transgressions. I would have no issues telling anybody that, you know. I would have no problems with that because, you know, boxing would be very interesting. Billy Joe Saunders stops Canelo, man, that would be headlines right there. But is that going to happen? You know what I mean? Is that going to happen? I don't know. People are saying that Canelo cheats. I mean, people are saying it, but it's true, though. The dude tested positive for clenbuterol twice. Tested positive for clenbuterol twice. I mean, you know, that's more than people just saying it. It's proven that Canelo's a cheater. But then so is Billy Joe. I was reading the comment section, another comment section, and it said the battle of the PEDs. It said some shit like that. Like the PED belt is on the line. And you know, man, when you get caught juicing, man, you deserve the ridicule and the shame that comes along with that, man. Don't juice. Don't juice. People won't say shit about it. You know? Absolutely. Boxing with Sean says apparently. Boxing with Sean also says Canelo could give 30 feet and people would still discredit him. That's boxing. Yeah. I mean, you know, when you're on top, then I don't think that when you say discredit him, I'm gonna say this, right? I don't think like when you have a lot of success in something and you're held to a higher standard, automatically there's going to be a lot of criticism, you know, that people are going to give you, you know. There's going to be a lot of criticism that you're going to get, you know, because people hold you to a higher standard, you know. So I feel like what Canelo would get would be criticism because people hold him to a certain standard and he's not living up to this standard that people are holding him to. Because when you got people calling you pound for pound number one and a pound for pound king, the king of boxing. When you got people saying stuff like that, okay, then you have to be held to the same standards of the people who held that title before. Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones Jr., Sugar Ray Leonard. These dudes at one point were also known as the pound for pound kings in the faces of boxing. But these dudes didn't do a lot of the things that Canelo did. And these dudes received even higher levels of criticism and discreditation. People to this day still don't give Mayweather full credit for beating Pacquiao. Some people still think Pacquiao won that fight, which is crazy. You know, the facts guy says, what is clambuterol? Boxing with Sean says, Billy Joe cheated too. Yes, he did. He definitely cheated. The battle of the PED belt. The PED belt is on the line here. Yeah. Boxing with John says, I still love Barry Bonds, best ever. Hey, man. But, I mean, but these dudes juice, and then when you get caught, it's like you can't be mad, and you can't, when people don't want to include you in that pound for pound greatest of all time conversation, you can't be mad. I mean, Canelo's worth what, almost 200 million now? So I'm sure he doesn't care that that whether or not he's in the people's pound for pound conversation or whether he's going to be considered as the greatest of all time. He probably doesn't care about that, But if you don't care about that now, then don't care about it later. Don't make arguments like you were the best ever. Don't make, don't try to play that role like you were that guy that whole time when at the end of the day you weren't. You didn't live up to that. You didn't even try to live up to that. You get caught cheating, there's guys out here you ain't fighting, you doing catch weights. It's all kinds of stuff going on. You know what I mean? It's all kind of, but let's go back to these predictions because we were listening to some predictions and shit like that. Let's go back to that.
I got Canelo winning, but I mean, I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be in the later rounds because Saunders is young. I mean, he's strong. He's got fast feet. He's fast. I don't think he's gonna go at this. I think Canelo will stop him or knock him out before the end. I will not predict because it's not an easy fight. But I'm not gonna tell you what's gonna be like in the 6th or 7th, 8th round. But I can tell you it's gonna be in the later round.
Oh, Alvarez is fighting Billy Joe Saunders.
Yes.
How do you see that fight?
I like that take.
I think Canelo 100%. I think for me, Canelo is the best pound for pound right now.
This is what I was talking about. Like, why everybody gotta say he's the best pound for, like, why can't you just, first of all, nobody asked you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not even the question. Like, give me the prediction. Like, why you gotta say he's the best pound for pound fighter? That's why I say it's ass kissing. At the end of the day, it's all ass kissing. Just give your predictions. You don't gotta say all that.
I have a lot of good fighters. What I like so much to see. Canelo is not only the number one. What I like so much. I have a lot of good fighters. What I like so much to see the fight and everything. But I'm very honest, and I think Canelo for me is the number one in the world right now. And
so you had to say that twice. He didn't have to say. He didn't even say it one time. He had to say it twice, and nobody asked him. Like, nobody asked you who what was the question. Hold on, let's go back. Let's rewind. Let's see what the question was. Hold on. Maybe I missed some shit. Maybe let's see what the question was. I don't know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How do you see that fight? Who wins and why?
Okay, he asked. Hold on. He asked, how do you see that fight going? How do you see that fight going? And listen to this dude.
100%. I think for me, Canelo is the best pound for pound right now. I have a lot of good fighters. What I like so much to see. Canelo is not only the number one. What I like so much. I have a lot of good fighters. What I like so much to see the fight and everything. But I'm very honest, and I think Canelo for me is the number one in the world right now. And I enjoy so much.
Is that 3 times?
Sometimes I look his social media because I like to copy a little bit his style, and I love that.
So it funciona, you know what I say? So, and I love that. When you copy somebody, it's because you want to be, not only because him, it's only to, it's because you want to be better and better. So, and I love that. So, and I think Canelo can win the fight.
Do you think it's a hard fight, a fight that goes 12 rounds, or do
Yeah,
you think Canelo
yeah, I
can knock
think so.
him out?
Yeah. I think, I don't know if he can win on KO, but I think for me, this fight can be a little long.
Yeah,
I
it can
think
be
so.
tricky. Saunders is a tricky fighter.
Yes,
And he's
that's what it
southpaw.
says. Yes, that's what it says. So, but we'll see. I think Canelo. I don't think he wanna be a pro.
Got a bullshit commercial. Huh? Got a bullshit commercial. James says it's not a steroid. That's what James says. It's not a steroid. Clenbuterol ain't a steroid, huh? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on a second. Back on here.
Problem is that.
All right, here goes Jamil Charles.
Joe Sanders, even though the ring too big, I heard some bullshit happen where the ring was like supposed to be 24, and then they made it 20. So like,
So my opinion on I think that's Jermel. I'm pretty sure that's Jermel. Okay. All right. Jermel, he's acting like he kind of drunk, but let's hear what he talking about.
come on, Billy Joe, you on some scared of that nigga Canelo? You put that smoke. Canelo by far the best fighter in the world right now. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's what it is. And
It's more ass kissing. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, first of all, first of all, man, like give your predictions on the fight, bro. Like what again? What? Why you gotta say the best fighter in the world? Nobody asked you that shit. Just give your prediction. Give your prediction. That's why I say these dudes be ass kissing, man. Really.
best should fight the best. So
Canelo's fighting Billy Joe Saunders. You gave Canelo out of trouble because you had a very tricky style. How do you see that fight? Do you think Saunders gives Canelo a lot
I'm curious in this. I want to see where Lanny Lara got to say. Let's hear what he got to say.
of trouble?
He might kiss some ass too, because he probably looking for that rematch.
Hablando de la pelea de Canelo, va a pelear contra Billy Joe Saunders. Tú peleaste contra Canelo. Tu estilo le dio a él muchas dificultades. ¿Crees que Saunders con su estilo puede ganar o lo puede complicar la pelea?
Sí, claro que sí. Sander es un boxeador zurdo, tiene un buen estilo también, un boxeador de movimiento también. Creo que depende de lo que haga esa noche y cómo se prepare, puede tener la victoria.
Do you think it's a split decision fight? Do you feel one person or the other can win the fight? ¿Crees que puede ser una pelea polémica? Porque el estilo de Saunders, ves que Canelo puede ganar.
Tiene que ganarle claramente a Canelo. Tiene que ganarle claramente para que le puedan dar la victoria, porque si no sé, se acuerdan hace 7 años atrás, en el 2014, yo peleé con él, le gané claramente y me robaron la pelea.
He's saying that Canelo must win his fight clearly, not leaving no doubt about it. Because if you remember 7 years ago, I fought Canelo and I thought I won.
So okay. So Laura, like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna say it how it is. You know what I'm saying? Canelo need to win the fight convincingly, and we won't need no bullshit like what happened 7 years ago when I fought him. You know, that's the real translation right there. I don't know if that's a real translation, but fuck it, that's how I'm translating it. But I likes that right there. So Lara giving the real, and yes, man. Canelo, if Canelo wants to prove that he has evolved since the days of Lara, since the days of Mayweather, if he wants to prove that he's evolved in any kind of way, he needs to not only stop Billy Joe Saunders, but look good stopping him. Okay. And when I say look good stopping him, I mean that he shouldn't be getting beat the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like he shouldn't be taking a whole lot of punishment as the fight goes on. Of course, he can get hit, but it shouldn't be a back and forth slugfest affair with Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? You know, like this fight shouldn't be a debatable fight. Like this fight doesn't need to be in dispute. If this is a disputed fight, then we know where Canelo's at. You know, if this is and I feel like Billy Joe's gonna give him one of the hardest fights of his career. You know, I said it before and I say it again. Billy Joe can win this fight. He can. Again, I don't think it's gonna happen, but Billy Joe can win this fight. He got a legitimate shot, and I would not be surprised if Billy Joe Saunders won this fight. But let Laura cook. Laura's getting in there. Let him cook.
Really, and that fight got stolen from me.
Laura said that fight got stolen from me. My guy ain't pulling no punches. Go ahead, Aris Landy. Talk your shit, my guy.
¿Qué tanto ha mejorado Canelo?
Sí, ha mejorado. Mejorado, que hay ese medio. Canelo de que peleó conmigo hace 7 años atrás ha mejorado. Mejorado. Eso hay que mirar, hay que darle el mérito.
I gotta give him credit. He has improved a lot. There's no doubt about it. All credit to him for that.
Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders. Break it down for us.
All right, so I know T.O. gonna lick some ass. So let's hear what T. I already know he gonna lick ass, but let's hear what he say.
Billy Joe Sanders. Okay. And Canelo, that's a great fight, man. I think it's good. You know, Billy Joe hasn't fought since when, Marcos?
Woo. He had one fight last year. One fight.
Yeah, so you know, going into someone like Canelo who's been active lately, you know, it's gonna be a turnaround. Canelo knows his distance, already knows the range, with the small gloves and everything. So it's definitely it's gonna be a huge, really a huge challenge for him to overcome. Like, but anything's possible. I mean, look what we did with Lomachenko. You know, so anything's possible. May the best man win. Like everybody, I'm rooting for Canelo, and I'm also rooting for Billy Joe. But who I gotta pick the side on? It's gonna be Canelo. He's in his prime right now.
Okay, I'm actually okay with that response. That was a real boxing fan like breakdown of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was okay. I'm rooting for both guys, and he gave a legitimate reason as to why he thinks Canelo's gonna win, which I can respect. You know what I'm saying? Billy Joe had one fight in 2 years, and then his only fight in 2 years was Martin Murray. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, yo, Martin Murray is so many levels below Canelo Alvarez. It's such a huge step up in competition, and then you're not even active. And Canelo, at very least, has been active. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really a problem. So I can respect that assessment from Teofimo Lopez. Okay, go ahead, Tio. Talk your shit.
Anybody at 168 beat Canelo? Because they're saying after Saunders, there's Caleb Plant, but then a lot of people mention David Benavidez.
Caleb Plant. It'll be a very technical fight. I will be more in tune with that fight than David Benavidez. Yeah, but I know everybody wants to see Mexico versus Mexico, and that's always a great fight and always a great turnaround. I would definitely love to see though after this Canelo and Caleb Plant.
How do you see that fight? Is that a hard fight? Because I feel a lot.
Okay, Caleb Plant now, a possible future opponent for Canelo Alvarez. Let's see what he say. He probably gonna lick ass because he probably gonna want the fight next. But let's see what he say. Hold on, let me check the comment section real quick. See if anybody talking some good shit. Let's see what you're talking about. Nobody talking that shit. We ain't here. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. Back on Pizoint. See what Caleb Plant's talking about here.
A lot of people aren't giving.
Shout out to Fight Hype TV or Fight Hub TV.
I mean, Billy, he's got some attributes. You know, he's got foot speed, he's got some hand speed, and I think he's got some more mental fortitude than maybe some of these last couple of opponents that Canelo's had. So how Canelo deals with that is what people are waiting to see.
Hey, goddamn it! If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? So we can continue to do this damn thing for the 99 2000. All right, back on point.
But you know, it's up to Billy to go in there and to implement those things. You know, you can have all the foot speed, hand speed, boxing ability, boxing IQ, power, whatever it may be. But if you can't go in there and implement it, then those things don't matter. And if Canelo is able to negate those things and Billy's not able to adjust and switch it up, then it doesn't matter anyway. So we'll see.
Break it down, like really, what does Saunders have to, if you were helping Saunders or like if he reached out to you and said like, and I know this probably wouldn't happen, but say he did reach out to you and said, hey bro, what advice would you have for me going up against a Canelo? What would I do? How do I win this fight? What plan would you lay out? What would you tell Saunders?
Hands up, chin down. That's all.
Yeah, that's all you would say. He has to do more than that.
He's got a team around him. He can figure it out. He's a world champion. He's been doing this for a minute. And if him and his people around him, can't figure out what needs to be done, then, it's not for him to win.
But you fought both Saunders and Triple.
I don't know about what Caleb Plant talking about, but I respect his answer though.
So I want to get your perspective. How difficult of a fight is Saunders versus Canelo?
Who the fuck is this guy?
A lot of fans felt that Saunders had a really good chance at in the fight.
It depends on what Saunders shows up, and it also depends on he's gonna have to be perfect for 12 rounds. And he's gonna have to. You're looking at 2 counter punches, and you're looking at Canelo, who's slightly quicker. But you would say that Billy Joe Saunders is faster with momentum. He throws a lot more combinations than Canelo would.
All right. I mean, I think we get the gist of it, man, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I think we get the gist of it at the end of the day, man. We're going to move on to the next topic, man. My guy, the Facts Guy says you were the best at doing these predictions, so I'm going to subscribe and like. I appreciate you, the Facts Guy. Yes, sir. Appreciate your support and dedication, my guy. We're going to continue to do this boxing thing, man. Let's see here. I dropped the link a little bit earlier, man. So if anybody trying to jump in here and talk some boxing, man, you're more than willing to do so. Let me check the link because I haven't. Let me check checked it in a little minute. I gotta tell you though, the Facts Guy, I hope I'm wrong about this Billy Joe Saunders prediction. I hope that Billy Joe wins the fight. I really do. Hold on. Hold up. Where's my phone? Hold on a second. Bear with your boy. Bear with your boy. Hold on a second. What the physic? There we go. Yeah, Facts Guy in the building. Yeah, man. Facts Guy, come on through, man. If you're trying to chop it up, hold on, drop that link. I was looking for that link for you. There you go, man. If you want to jump on here, we can jump on here and talk some good boxing, man. I'm all for it. We got time tonight. We got time tonight. Yes, sir. We got time tonight. But we're going to switch subjects, man. And, we're going to switch subjects. I think a lot of you dudes, what's been going on with all this Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul stuff, or Jake Paul, should I say. But let's look at it again. I'm sure a lot of you dudes have probably seen this shit um over and 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 over again. You know what I mean? Hey, this shit is headlines like a motherfucker. I ain't even gonna hold you. But let's talk about it. Let's check the video out. Let's talk about it. Hold on.
We've got your story and shredding,
Ah,
organizing covered, so
bullshit ads, man. I need to switch to YouTube Premium.
you can focus on house selling, project planning, customer attracting. At Office Depot Office Max, our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping.
Oh fuck.
I think that was set up. I'm not gonna lie. He had his boys getting me before I could even get involved. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. What did he do? Someone tell me.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on with you?
Oh, I'm doing good. What about you?
And I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm out here doing some late night boxing talk.
Yep, yep.
Man.
So how you feeling about this? About the main event tomorrow for the Canelo versus Billy. How you feeling? How you feel? I want to hear your opinion on this. How you feeling?
About Canelo and Billy Joe?
Yeah. How you think it's gonna go, and how do you think Billy should win?
Okay. So this is what I think is gonna happen. I think that Billy Joe's gonna come out early. He's gonna come out aggressive. And he's gonna actually win the first maybe 2-3 rounds versus Canelo. He's gonna come out very aggressive and do that. I think after about the third round, he's gonna start backing up because after that time, he's gonna have tasted a little bit of Canelo's power, and he's gonna start fighting on his his back foot at that point. And I think that's gonna be a little bit of a mistake for him. I think at that point, Canelo starts to go to the body more. Canelo starts to cut the ring off more, and Canelo stops him late. That's what I think happens in this fight.
I think what Billy needs to win. I think Billy needs to hit Canelo with a respectful shot. I think Canelo needs to respect his shots, and I think once Canelo respects his shots, I think Billy might have the upper advantage. But the thing is, I'm not 100% sure. But this is what I think. This is like what I'm hoping for, because I mean, most people are expecting, like, the odds on the predictions are expecting Canelo to win. But the thing is, like, if Billy wins, this will be the hugest upset of, like, the era, man. Like, you don't understand. So, I mean, I really want to see something new. I don't want to keep seeing Canelo dominating these people. I want to see him get beat so I can see what's going to happen then.
Yeah, man, I'm with you, man. I think it's very entertaining. It's
Yeah.
very entertaining to see what happens next, and that
Yeah, the energy, the energy, 70,000 people there. Like, the energy is going to be crazy, especially with that.
Oh yeah, man. No joke about that, man. We got another guy in the building. I can't read your name, my guy. How you doing over there? Can you hear me? Can you? I don't know if he's muted or.
Let me see. He looks like he's Russian or something.
Yeah, he looks like he's Russian. Hey man, I don't know if your mic is on. I don't know what's going on, but go ahead, talk your shit, man. If you can jump in at any point, man, and
I don't know
make
if you
your
know this
points.
one like, his name is Champside. You know who Champside is?
Yeah, I know Champside.
Yeah, bro. He isn't really on Canelo's side. I mean, he isn't really on Billy's side. Like, I think he's more on the Canelo side. I mean, I understand. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go against that because, I mean, that's his opinion.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and here's the thing. Like, the fight is actually, I'm not. It's not a 50-50 fight. It's not a 50-50 fight, but it's close. It's the closest thing to a 50-50 fight we've seen Canelo in. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's fighting Callum Smith, Yildirim. Who's Yildirim? Come on, he's
Yeah,
irrelevant.
yeah. Wow, man, completely and utterly irrelevant, man. That dude
Yeah,
didn't belong in there.
I never even knew his name until he fought Canelo. Huh. If I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he didn't belong in the ring in there. He didn't
And
belong in the ring in the first place.
and then Callum Smith was just a sitting duck in the ropes. He didn't want to strike back.
Yeah, everybody who's been in the ring with Canelo has kind of just laid down so far. Have you
Yeah,
noticed that?
I think yeah, cause and one thing I noticed, nobody goes for the body of Canelo. I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree. Nobody does go for the body. It's kind of
They always headhunting. I don't understand that.
well, and the thing is, Canelo learned how to move his head now. So, like,
Yeah, the
that's
body
one
is
thing.
there.
Yeah, the
The
body's
body
there
can.
because the feet are stationary, but the head is actually moving now. So he's pretty tough there.
Whenever he fought Daniel Jacobs, oh my god, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. The head movement looked good, man. You're not gonna just hit him like straight on like that. But heads
Yeah,
on a swivel like that. So, you know,
it takes skill. I don't. I think he should. I think Canelo should fight actual real good people.
yeah, man, yeah, man, and that's why he gets a lot of the scrutiny that he gets because he's not really fighting those top guys, that we want to see him in the ring with.
Yeah, even though he fought GGG still beat him. I don't know, like the judges robbed him because because he was not Mexican, so like the judges were Mexican, so they picked Canelo instead of GGG. But we all know that GGG should have won that first fight.
I'm not gonna say GGG should have won the fight. I think it was a close fight. It was probably like it was a close fight. I would say.
I think GGG should have won by split decision.
You okay? I mean, I could see that, but you can't say. I wouldn't say it was a robbery. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't go robbery because robbery is like blatant. Like GGG should have won, but the fight to me could have went either way. You know what I'm saying in that first one, and I think Canelo won the second one pretty
Problem
good.
is, Billy, he isn't. He's good, specialized in one thing, and that's moving. And the question is, though, can he last? Can he last in that ring in order to stay safe and in order to win that? He can't knock Canelo out. We know that. You know, the only thing he can do is just gather some points in the rounds. I mean, as long as I mean, usually Billy gets up for these big fights. I think that's why whenever he fought Martin Murray, he didn't look that good because he knew that the fight was not that hyped. Now that there's 70,000 people and there's 70,000 people that's going against them, the Mexican fans. I think he's gonna rise to the thrill. I think so. I believe this.
And and that's what I was talking about earlier. Like Billy Joe doesn't really have the power to be able to keep Canelo off of him, really. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like inevitably Canelo's gonna walk him down and end up stopping him. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and then Billy Joe doesn't really have. He's not really like a slick like to the level of somebody like Andre or or somebody like Devin Haney or somebody who can kind of like hit you and
I wish
even though they don't
I wish Billy could have fought Andre, man, because we would have actually seen how good he was.
yeah. If Billy Joe could have beat Andrade, I would have gave him a much better shot to beat
Yeah,
Canelo.
right.
Sure.
But I feel like I think he ducked that fight, or did he like just not want to do it?
I think it was a lot of both. Yeah, well, really, they're the same thing. The duck is pretty
But
much
now,
taking the fight.
Andre, like he went on to now I think he's on Billy's side
You
because
think so?
because on the Instagram on Andre like went to like his like he was like, "Hey, yo, Billy, you win this fight, man." Like, he wasn't on Canelo's side. I think he was on Billy's more side.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because like Canelo on record, like I don't know if you've seen this interview, but and we're gonna find the interview. I'm about to play this shit in a second. But Canelo,
Yeah, play that shit.
let me play that shit. Matter of fact, let's play it.
Yeah, let's play it
And
right
tell
now.
me what you think about it.
Yeah, because I want to see like that. I don't know if I already saw it, but I just want to make sure I remember it so I can see how I really feel. Oh, I don't think I saw this.
Oh, this is What's that dude who does that show on Showtime? He's that commentary, Brian Custer. There we go.
The ring announcer?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know him. On PBC?
Custer. I think he's on like Showtime, Brian Custer podcast. And Canelo was on it. Canelo was just on it. Oh shit.
Yeah, this is May 3rd, so this is recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 days ago, 1 week ago. So he's taking drugs, Canelo? I didn't know that. But I just knew that people were saying that whenever he uses the gloves, he uses it like he doesn't really pad them. Like they're not padded a lot.
Yeah. His gloves don't have padding. I've never really heard that too much about Canelo, but it wouldn't surprise me, man. A lot of these dudes in boxing is a dirty fucking sport, man. Someone dirty ass fucking sport, yo.
I think MMA is beating boxing. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh no, they definitely beating boxing.
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like boxing is falling down now. It's just not how it used to be. But I mean, I still enjoy it.
The Last Stand podcast.
Let me see if I can get to the part where it's
Quote, Canelo is a cheat, a drug cheat. He's been caught twice. That's not a coincidence. He's still a cheat and always will be, end quote. How do you respond to that?
No.
holy shit.
Te lo voy a contestar.
Who wrote that? Holy shit. Hold on, I gotta hear that again. God damn.
If I was Canelo, I'd get mad.
Yeah, I don't even the fact that he read that shit. Like, why would you
This motherfucker like
why would you even read that shit? Hold on, like
I want to be calm. I don't need uses. Good. No, the jueces. Oh, judges.
Yes, got it. Now, listen, he just recently did an interview with ESPN. I'm going to quote him. These are his words, Canelo. Quote, Canelo is a cheat, a drug cheat.
is that Billy Joe saying that?
Twice. That's
No,
not
I
a
think it's talking about
coincidence.
Andre. I'm not 100% sure though. I think it's either Andre or Billy.
How do you respond to that?
No. Te lo voy a contestar en español para explicarlo mejor. La verdad es que nunca, el que salió con drogas fue él, ¿no? Y creo que 2 veces salió con drogas. Lo que a mí me detectaron fue el clenbuterol y fue una muy mínima porcentaje que obviamente todo lo mostramos que fue por carne y ahora ya tienen un cierto porcentaje que le dan a los peleadores para que salgan con eso porque varios han salido por lo del consumir alimentos.
The only thing I do not like I just like it just takes a lot of time whenever like Canelo speaks in Spanish because like he has to translate.
Yeah, it takes a hell of a lot of time. Oh, I'm looking for when he was talking about Android. Hold on.
I don't know what PEDs. Do you know what that is? PEDs?
Yeah,
Like,
performance enhancement drugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like steroids.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. A lot of times it is
man.
steroids, man. Yeah.
Wait, what did Billy take? Did he take these type of stuff?
He took a type of steroid too. I don't know if it was the same one Canelo did. I don't remember which one it was, but
the thing I don't understand is how does this change the fight game now? Why? How?
oh man, PEDs can help you in a lot of different ways. They can give you more stamina. They can give you more power, as we saw with Pacquiao. A lot of people suspected he was on PEDs for a long time. It can give you it's like you can take testosterone, which testosterone has been proven to be very helpful for men, as far as it gives you more vitality, more like aggression, everything.
More manlier, yeah.
Right.
I don't like this type of stuff. I mean, it's unhealthy. I don't they're harming their bodies. But I mean, I see why they do. I mean, boxing is a hard sport, man. Like boxing takes a lot of energy and you have to train every single day and you can only leave your training if it's like an emergency.
Oh yeah, man. It's true. Hold on. I have other plans. Okay, so other people are talking about it. I wish I could find the fucking
People saying
clip.
that David Benavidez versus Canelo is a good fight. I don't think Canelo is gonna make it easy for David because David does not have good defense. So and he got knocked down by Garville. You know who that is?
Garva, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he got knocked down by that.
I don't think a lot of people, I think that in general it's a good fight. I think it's a really good fight.
A violent. I know that.
Yeah, I think Canelo still has the edge in that fight, maybe like 55-45 or even 60-40 as far as Canelo winning the fight. But I feel like David Benavidez got a good chance to win that fight, man. And I did a whole video about that, talking about that fight and how good it is. Bro, Benavidez throws the punches and bunches that would give Canelo issues because we know Canelo
I
is.
think David has the best combinations in boxing.
Yeah. Yeah, he lets those hands go, man, and that could be very like detrimental for somebody like Canelo, who could be very conservative with their punches, and so you can get outworked by David and just lose 12-round decision, no problem. So you gotta knock him out. He's gonna have to knock him out because winning a decision is gonna be tough, because David's gonna outwork you.
I'm just excited tomorrow. Like tomorrow's gonna be a big night. Hopefully, Billy wins, man. Hopefully, man. Like that's just I've been excited for this fight over a month, basically.
It's the best. It's the best Canelo fight we got in a while. I can say that for sure, without no doubt in my mind. It's gonna be a good one. I think Billy Joe is gonna make Canelo look kind of bad. Hold on, let's do this. Talking about he's playing the clip.
Yeah.
Let's see if.
Of course I toilet after that fight statements out here down. But Canelo Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders.
Okay, this didn't help at all. I'm just trying to want the clip, man. Where's the clip at? We might have to go back to shit, man. Fuck, bro. Hold on a second. Ryan Custer.
I feel like Billy should have fought GGG, then fought Canelo.
What do you think about GGG in general, man? Like, what do you think?
I don't think he should box anymore. He's old now. He's 39 years old. I think he should retire. And he was a good champion, for a while. But I just think he doesn't have that boost anymore. Like he just doesn't have that killer mentality.
He doesn't have that killer mentality. Absolutely.
What do you? Old now. Like he's about to be 40. So I just don't think he should box.
Yeah, he's trying to fight what's that dude Murata over there in Japan. You know about Murata in Japan?
He should fight Jermell Charlo.
Definitely should fight him. Jermell Charlo or Demetrius Andrade.
I think Jermell will win. Honestly, because Jermell's in his prime and
next champion is
like
them. So that's the goal and Saunders, of course. I need to win. But then the next
Is this the whole?
Movies, Billy Joe Saunders, of course. I need to win.
I don't think this is the whole like
the next
that's a part.
champion
That's
is
like a part
Alex.
like a specific part.
That's the goal.
Oh, that's a stupid ass clip. Yeah, damn.
It's the last.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fought Amir Khan. If only Amir Khan had a good chin against Canelo, that'd be good.
Oh, I say that all the time, man. If Amir Khan had a good chin, man, Amir Khan would outbox Canelo easy, man. Easy work.
He would have beat him, but it's just Amir. Like once you hit him with a good hand, like just with like the lightest hand, like he just gets so stunned. I don't know why.
But Amir Khan he makes very, very critical mistakes defensively. He's so fixated on throwing like these fast combinations that he doesn't bring his hands back to his face. You know what I mean? His mechanics are really fucked up. So if you're somebody like a Canelo or even like how Danny Garcia caught Amir Khan, man, Anybody can get hurt and dropped and stopped or knocked out. So, and the best way to get stopped or knocked out is getting caught with a shot while you're throwing a punch. You know what I'm saying? And that was one thing Amir Khan, like, those little fundamental things, he would just have lapses.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Amir Khan just gets too excited. I think he just like once he throws them in good combination, he's like, "Oh, I'm so determined now," and then out of nowhere, that just random right hand and that random left hand just sweeps his face, and then he gets fucking hurt.
Hold on, let's see, cause I'm determined to find this fucking clip, man.
I can tell. Twice actually. In my case, it was clenbuterol, the minimum the content from the meat, which has been proven that now.
I don't like Canelo a lot.
For boxers, it was actually him who tested positive twice.
And Canelo, does it upset you that it seems like there always will be a segment of people, no matter how great you are, will say, but yet he still got caught and had to be suspended for a PED?
No, la verdad que no, porque sé lo que soy y sé por lo cual salió y que hoy lo hicieron legal un porcentaje, un cierto porcentaje. Y la verdad que no, nunca, no me voy a poner.
Another guy we had on the show who says he's been wanting you for a while, Jermall Charlo. Is that a fight you would like in the future?
Yeah, why not? It's a good fight too. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's gonna be.
Well, at least he said that. Hold on, we're gonna get to the part by Andre. You're gonna understand what I'm talking about.
All right.
Oh, here you go.
Been avoiding him, Demetrius Andre. Is that a fight?
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Now look at this.
I say this.
Look at this. So why he say, "Oh my goodness," though? Like, why do you feel like he says that about Demetrius Andre?
Wait, what did Brian ask again?
Oh, hold on. We're gonna back it up a sec.
Because I want to hear one more time.
All right, let's go back here. 653.
Andre. He says you've been avoiding.
Hold on.
Joe, who said he wants to fight you.
Yeah, why not? It's a good fight.
He's talking about Charlo.
Maybe for me it's hard to make 160 now, but let's see in the future.
Another guy who we had on the show who said he wants to fight you, David Benavidez at 168.
Yeah, why not? Will be a great fight.
Yeah, right. David Benavidez and his team sent out a contract, and then Canelo and his team rejected it because he's scared of fighting Mexicans and the black people. He's scared of fighting black people and Mexicans because he knows that they're actual killers.
He said he ain't fighting no more Mexicans. Canelo did say that shit though. He said, "I'm not fighting no more Mexicans." It's funny that a lot of Mexicans defend him after he said that shit. Like, I don't even get how you defend that shit.
He's only fighting these Britain people, like these British people. I mean, they're good. Like whenever, like they're determined, but they just ain't as good. Like the black people and the Mexicans are just killers, man. They don't play around. Like, I bet you Canelo would get beat by Andre. I can bet you that.
Well, look what he says about Andre. I need you to pay attention to this part. Look what he say about Andre. Watch this.
We had him on, and he said he's been wanting you for a while. Demetrius Andre. He says you've been avoiding him.
Okay, so look at the face that he making. Look at all this shit. Why he's so pressed? Everybody else, he said, hold on, we got to go through the whole part though. Like, we gotta go through the whole because Brian is asking him about all these different fighters, right? Yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. And then here we go with Demetrius Andre, and we got a whole attitude. Hold on, here we go.
To mention a fighter, you tell me if this is a fight you would like in the future. Let's start.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with Caleb Plant. Because if you beat Billy Joe, it would be for the undisputed super
fighting bums. Well, not. I mean, Billy is not really a bum, but
won all the titles in this division. So my first move is Billy Joe Saunders, of course. I need to win, but then the next champion is Caleb Plant. So that's the goal in short time.
Another guy we had on the show who said
no problem.
Wanting you for a while, Jermall Charlo. Is that a fight?
Like Caleb, no problem. Demetrius, problem.
Yeah, Caleb, no problem. Jamal Charlo. Look what he said about Jamal.
Jamal looks like a beast, man.
Maybe for me it's hard to make 160 now, but let's see in the future.
He should go up to 175. Fight Berturbiev.
For real.
At 168. Yeah, why not? It will be a great fight with David Benavides. Why not? I just want to make the fight people want to see.
Yeah. A guy who's fighting on the zone, and we had him on, and he said he's been wanting you for a while. Demetrius Andrade.
Look at that
That
face.
you've been avoiding.
Look at that face. Everybody else, yeah, okay, no problem. Demetrius Andrade. Look at this. He look constipated. He look constipated right now.
He look like he's scared.
He look constipated. Why are you so constipated and pressed when somebody bring up Demetrius Andrade?
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, that's
he's
crazy.
Scared.
Definitely scared.
Demetrius Andrade, is that a fight you want?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Fight him. Fight him if you're a real champ. Only champions actually will fight anybody. Like Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, they always fought everybody.
You just see the record. He's fighting with nobody.
Who did your Durham fight?
He fought like this one guy, like Anthony Durrell.
You know, Canelo just said Andrade is fighting nobody, but your Durham, he fought Anthony Durrell and then lost to Durrell. No. He fought Anthony Durrell and then lost to Anthony Durrell. Okay. So it's okay to fight Abney Udirum. It's okay to fight Callum Smith.
Yeah.
Those dudes haven't fought anybody.
I think he did that for a mandatory. He actually requested to fight them. He's a liar.
He definitely requested to fight Abney Udirum. He didn't have to fight Udirum.
Yeah, he didn't have to. Even I could beat him up, bro. And I'm like 17.
Yeah, Abney Udirum. This dude. Okay. He fought with nobody. That's really duck language, man. At the end.
And has 3 losses. He fought like people with like 122 losses.
Yeah, that's all duck language, man. Hold on, let's get back. Let's get back.
And he's I have other plans.
Okay. One guy who we had on, who you know well, is Errol Spence Jr. And he said he would love in the future to move up in weight. And he said fight Canelo Alvarez. He said in Dallas.
The reason why is because he isn't a natural 168.
Could you ever see you and Errol Spence Jr. fighting?
Like I said, no, I wanna make the fight people wanna see. If the people want the fight, okay.
Hold on. So you got other plans. You got other plans for Andrade, but you're okay with fighting Errol Spence Jr. a welterweight. See, this is that bull, and this is why right here. You can't say Canelo's pound for pound #1. You can't call him the king of boxing. You can't say this stuff because this dude just literally said Demetrius Andrade, a dude who was champion at 2 divisions that Canelo was champion at, who's probably going to move up to 168, a division that Canelo holds belts in next, but he has other plans for Demetrius. He don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. I got other plans. But Errol Spence Jr., yeah, we can make the fight. Yeah, we can make the fight. Errol Spence?
Errol Spence is not a natural 160 or 168, and he knows that. That's why he's saying yes. But Demetrius, he's a power puncher. He can kill you in that ring.
Errol Spence is a welterweight, man. You talking about fighting a welterweight over a natural, over a dude that was held a belt in 2 divisions you campaigned at. That's probably gonna move up to 168. It's like, come on, bro. This is why you can't call Canelo no pound for pound king. That's why you can't much of mouth for say none of that.
The thing I like about Billy is that he fights like he doesn't fight like Muhammad Ali, but he has like the same type of thing as Muhammad Ali. Like, and I like that. I like that. It looks cool, but sometimes not everything is cool, and it can actually like affect you. So I'm excited. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just excited, honestly. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. We don't know how good Billy is. That's the thing. That's why it's so interesting. We haven't really seen him fight like a good dude, except for David. And David was a David was like an average opponent. I'll give him like a B minus, and I'll give Canelo like a B plus or A minus. But let's see what I'd rank Billy. Right now, I'm gonna rank Billy like a B or something like that. And I'm ranking Canelo an A. The reason why I'm ranking him a B is because I don't know how he really is because he hasn't fought the top guys.
Nah, that's a fair rating, man. B is more than a fair rating for Billy Joe Saunders. He's virtually unproven. You know, he's got two belts in two different weight classes. You got to give him that. But he's virtually an unproven guy. He's virtually a guy who just
Andy Lee is a good opponent, I guess. He beat him for the
man, I don't man. Man, I'm out of here with that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this stream up. I was gonna talk about the Floyd Mayweather brawl with Jake Paul and shit. Matter of fact, let's talk about that real quick. Okay, let's play that. Let's play that little video. Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul is annoying.
Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul.
And the funny thing is that Jake Paul actually got a tattoo. Got your hat. Come on, man.
He got a tattoo. You got to be fucking with me. He really got a tattoo.
Yeah, I can
say got your hat.
Hold on. Let me find that.
Hold on. We're gonna play this video while you looking.
It's time to see which chew provides the longest lasting flea and tick protection.
Oh yeah, I have the video right now.
Nearly 3 times longer than any other chew.
Bravo, Bravecto. Bravo.
We're about to get this in. Hold on a second.
Damn. Floyd looking like a demon. Damn.
Sure.
Logan was trying to act tough. I don't like that.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Got your hat. Got your hat. Got your hat. Chill. Get off. It's me, big bro. Get off. Let knock it off. Don't ever disrespect me. Fucking arrest everybody here.
I think that was a setup, I'm not gonna lie. He had his boys get me before I could even get involved. Yeah, I'm good.
Jake's outside already.
That's crazy.
Dude, what did he do? Someone tell me what he did.
Jake took his hat.
Jake took his hat.
Yeah, that sparked the brawl. Were you expecting anything like that?
Yeah, he told me he was gonna do it. I told him not to.
And you went after your brother immediately.
He said I want to take his hat. Hey, Floyd security does a good ass.
Somebody got
These boys are big. Who?
Nobody got beat up.
No one got beat up?
Does this light a fire in you now? I mean, you just
Yeah,
your brother.
no, yeah, bro. This shit is so personal. This shit is so fucking personal. I thought this shit was gonna be kind of cute. We'll go and put on a good show. He said, I'm not controversial. Make no mistake. We're formed right here. My brother, on the other hand, he got a hat collection. You see, that's what happened. He got a hat collection. I think he liked Floyd's hat. He just wanted to add it to his collection. You know, nothing personal.
I got the video right now. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on my camera. Hold on. All right, can I turn my camera? All right, look at this.
Hold on. Let me stop share.
You see that?
Wow, unbelievable.
It's like right here. The gotcha hat, right there. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on my camera. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't see why he would do that. All right, look at this.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I mean, you know, it doesn't surprise me because that dude is a that dude is a maniac, so it doesn't surprise me that much. But it's still crazy as fuck, man. It's all entertainment. So tell me, in general, man, what do you think about that whole whatever the fuck that shit was, bro?
I think it was. I think it might have been staged because maybe they done it. Maybe they did it because they want to bring more eyeballs to the fight, the exhibition. Maybe they did it because they want more. They want more money. I mean, I would. I mean, I'd fight. I'd fight for $100 million. I'd fight anybody for that much money. Like, that's a good amount of money. A YouTuber.
Tell me, why do you think it was staged?
Why? Because Jake already had this planned, and whenever the brawl happened, like they just started like Floyd is usually never like this. Like Conor McGregor has done worse, but how come it's only whenever Jake Paul does it? He gets. I mean, I would see why. Like I do the same thing also, but I mean, it can. I don't. I mean, it can be staged and it cannot. But I'm leaning more on the staged part, just because. He already had this plan, and why would he make a brand? He made a gotcha hat brand, and he also made a tattoo about it. like he opened like after the little brawl, he opened like a little brand, like it's called gotcha hat. It's like $25 to get a hat.
Wow.
And I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if I would say it was staged though. I mean, I could see why it would be staged, and I could see why anyone would think that. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems so random how Jake walked up on him like that as he was in front of the press. But at the end of the day, I mean, the timing of everything is just too. The timing of it was just too perfect. Like Jake happened to walk up to him as he was surrounded by cameras. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just seemed a little too contrived. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows though? At the end of the day, if the goal was to promote the fight, they definitely promoted the fight, man. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people are talking about it now, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Do you think Floyd put hands on? You think Floyd punched him a few times?
I saw one vid where he punched him like hard. I heard it.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah, I think he punched him in the eye. Because he had a black eye after. I don't know if you knew that. The Jake Paul.
I saw some pictures where it looked like he had a black eye, but I'm not sure if it was because it wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Of a picture for me to really see what his eye.
Those security guards are strong as fuck.
Oh yeah, man. All the security guards are like 6 foot 6, 7, like 300 pounds. Them dudes are big dudes.
They could kill Jake Paul in a second.
Yeah, man, they was on his ass too, man. They got a quick reflex. As soon as he grabbed that hat, they was on his ass. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he grabbed that goddamn hat,
Don't mess with Floyd. Money Floyd. Don't mess with him.
Yeah, man. I mean, he could have probably lost his whole damn life fucking around with that. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you Jake Paul, man, you winning, dog. Like you about to get in the ring, or you're talking.
Jake Paul's I mean, I guess he brought more eyeballs to the boxing sport, but I mean, come on, man. He isn't a real boxer. He's fighting all these MMA people, and why is he not fighting like a professional? I mean, yeah, I get why, because like he isn't even like a real boxer. He just does it because he does it for like the entertainment, And I mean, I see that, but I just think that that's like a discrimination towards the boxing community.
I just, for me, I just hope Jake Paul, like, if this was real, I hope that because I hope he like slows down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he doesn't go down that Tekashi 6ix9ine route. It seemed like he going down that type of route where he just doing super clout chasing and just doing crazy ass things and just burning bridges and making enemies and shit.
I feel like Billy and Jake Paul like the same type of thing. Like they both act like little kids, but I mean, Billy is more. I'd rather prefer Billy as a person than Jake Paul.
But Billy's a real fighter, you know, and if he's doing that shit, it's to help promote the fight, and that's the difference. Like Floyd isn't fighting Jake.
I think that's why he's like doing all this stuff with Canelo. I think he's doing this either because he's trying to get under his skin, or either he's doing it because he wants to bring more people, and more people are more interested because they now they see that Billy looks more confident. We're not 100% sure. He might be nervous. He might be sitting on the ropes. He might just be getting hit and hit. You don't know. Hopefully he doesn't do that. I'm really trying to see a good fight. I mean, I've been waiting for this fight for like since May. No, not since May, but since February. Whenever after Yildirim, whenever they say he's gonna fight Billy. So I'm trying to see a good fight. I don't want to see him like fight like Yildirim or fight like Callum. Hopefully we'll see the best out of Billy. Hopefully he's confident and ready. Hopefully he wins, and we'll go from there.
Hopefully, man. But yeah, man.
What you thinking?
I gave my thoughts, man. I was talking all about that fight, man. I was talking about that this whole stream, bro. But ultimately, I think Canelo's gonna end up winning this fight. But I think it's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a good fight. I think Billy's gonna give Canelo some real issues and trouble.
Billy, like whenever he fought Caceres, he looked. I'm not gonna lie, he looked actually pretty good. But now, with the Martin Murray, he looked a little sloppy.
Yeah, he did, man. And Martin Murray was an old 40-year-old dude too. On top of that, man. But we'll see what happens, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this stream, bro. You got any final thoughts before I wrap it up, man? Thing you want to shout out?
I want to shout out King David. You're a very good predictor. I really respect you, man. Keep on the grind. And I also want to shout out the people that watch this live. Whoever's watching this live is watching the real one, watching King David, man. You're a real one if you're watching King David.
That's my guy.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. All right. Well, peace out, man.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully you post that post after the Billy versus Canelo. Hopefully you post your reactions and your thoughts after the fight.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna go live afterwards, man. So come back tomorrow, bro. After the fight, I'll probably be on.
Oh, it's exciting! I'm ready, man.
Yeah, man. We're gonna see because I'm sure it's gonna be a lot to talk about, one way or another. It's gonna be a lot to talk about.
Are you gonna make a live about whenever the life is going? Are you gonna watch the fight, right?
Oh yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do a watch party or nothing like that. I think I'm just gonna go live after the fight.
Yeah, I want to yeah, I get you. But all right, well, peace out, man. Hopefully you have a good night. All right, peace.
Man. Peace out, my guy. Have a good night.
Good night.